You are again welcome back to class. And in this class, we would be looking at what we term as parking lots. Parking lots. What is parking lots? Okay, parking lots is a meeting of value in Scrum. It is not one of the Scrum events, just as backlog refinement is not one of the Scrum events, but is a meeting of value or is a concept of value. So what do we mean by parking lot? Parking lot is a concept where a Scrum Master essentially makes use of to keep the team focused on the agenda of a defined meeting. So you use the concept of parking lots to keep conversations focused on the purpose of a defined meeting. Take, for instance, we come to the daily stand-up. Let me show from the board. Where is the board again? Just a moment, please. Okay, this is an active board, right? And we have this for foundation, right? So we've arrived at the daily stand-up, and by the time Paul was giving his report on this particular story, the conversation goes outside the story, right? There is need for more technical discussion or to look at other issues as regards that story. So the Scrum Master wants to keep the agenda focused. It's a 15-minute daily stand-up looking at the workflow or the status alone. So what the developer or the conversation outside the agenda of that meeting is equally important. Please note that. What that individual is talking about is equally important, but it has gone outside the agenda of that particular meeting. So such important conversations would be parked, right? So what the Scrum Master does is to note it down and crave the indulgence of the individual, pointing that because of the agenda of the meeting and the timing, if such could be parked, if we could come back again to discuss on that. So that is how the parking lot works. Let me make an illustration from this. Foundation block. So this work focuses on foundation blocks. And the developer working on the foundation blocks, while he was giving his feedback, he realized that there is a big stump, a root of a tree, a big stump of a tree that is blocking the efforts that would actualize the foundation blocks. So he's raising it, and some other thoughts are coming, valid points, and other team members are giving some other valid suggestions, but that conversation would take some other stretch, and it would impact on the timing, the availability for others. So the Scrum Master could say, "Oh, Paul, would you mind if we park that conversation? At the end of this meeting, we could come together, yourself, myself, and a few others who could give us some suggestions, and we look at that particular issue." So what the Scrum Master has done is to push that valid conversation to some other time arrangement so that the purpose of the meeting would not be lost. That is what we make reference to as the parking lot. So the Scrum Master encourages that the parking lot, such conversations should be put at the parking lot. He actually takes note of those conversations, and he could pull a meeting shortly after that particular agendaed meeting and make the discussion the new agenda. Why do we use it? I've explained that to keep the conversation focused on the agenda of that particular meeting. How we use it also is to push it, schedule another meeting where subject matter experts could now come together to discuss about that. So we'll keep the agenda of a defined meeting on that particular agenda. Any other conversations shooting out would now be scheduled for separate meetings. And the time box, there is no specific time boxing for parking lots. So it gives us the advantage of expanding conversations, but conversations that could hit deep on the purpose of the particular meeting. That is what the parking lot is about. All right, and that will be the end of this class. It's a short one, but it's one of the meetings that is of value. Of course, the parking lot is not used only for daily stand-up. It could be used alongside with other meetings. The purpose is to ensure that conversations are kept focused on, while any other thought is agendaed or scheduled for other meetings. All right, so we'll see again in the next class. If you have any question, please shoot them across to me. Bye now.